So if you're one of the millions, literally millions, trying to find a new place to live right now, well, you know it's overwhelming.
Absolutely.
It's just millions of listings, market data that makes no sense half the time, and you're just scrolling endlessly through photos. Are they even real? Who knows? Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, our mission really is to cut through all that noise. We want to give you two really essential shortcuts. First up, a guide to the tech that can actually streamline the whole search thing, make it less painful. And second, we're diving into the strategic playbook for, well, maybe the riskiest approach, but potentially the most rewarding, the fixer-upper.
Yeah, and that shift to using tech, it's staggering. Our sources show, well over 8 million people in the U.S. are using real estate apps every single month, just looking for a home.
Wow, 8 million.
Yeah. But just having the app, it isn't enough. You've got to know how to use it smartly. So this deep dive, we're going to structure that whole journey for you. First, we'll focus on getting the most out of the tools themselves, because honestly, the right app can save you weeks of stress. And then we'll shift gears into analyzing the whole investment strategy behind tackling a major renovation project.
Exactly. This isn't just going to be a list of apps. It's like, what are the trade-offs? How reliable is the data, really? And then we get to the serious money question. The risks, sure, but also the rewards of buying a house that needs, work. Okay, let's unpack this. So this digital revolution in home hunting, it's less about just convenience, I think, and more about sheer efficiency now. Why are these apps so essential?
Well, they give you access to just this huge database of properties, right? You get real-time market updates, pretty sophisticated filters. If you use them right, they make the whole thing faster and, probably less stressful than like old school paper listings or just driving around hoping.
Right, the driving around blind thing.
Exactly. But the key insight here, I think, is matching the tool to what you specifically need. So if you're a traditional home buyer, you're looking for high-quality photos. Virtual tours are huge now. Detailed descriptions.
Yeah, the tours are essential.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then the add-ons. Mortgage calculators, deep dives into community info, not just the house specs. But if you're a renter, your priorities, they shift completely.
Different game.
Totally different game. You need filters specifically for lease terms, rental prices, apartment amenities, things like that. A lot of the big apps try to do both, but you got to figure out if the app excels at the type of property you're hunting for.
Okay, so let's talk about the giants. The ones everyone has on their phone. Zillow, obviously, is the big one. The giant.
Yep.
Its pros are easy to spot. That famously easy interface, tons of listings, connects you with agents super easily.
And the main feature everyone knows Zillow for, the Zestimate, that estimated home value, right there on the page.
Ah, the Zestimate.
It's a great tool, for getting an instant rough idea of what a property might be worth.
Okay, but hold on. If these estimates are just, estimates, and the sources are pretty clear, they can be way off sometimes, especially in weird markets.
Yeah.
Why do people rely on them so much? Is it just convenience, or is there something else?
It's definitely a mix of both. The convenience factor is huge, right?
Yeah.
You get a number instantly.
Right.
But I think the deeper psychological thing is it provides a sense of confidence in a market that feels really opaque otherwise.
Okay.
But the critical caveat, and our sources really stress this, the Zestimate is a starting point, a guide. It is absolutely not the final word on market value.
Right.
You can lag reality. Sometimes it just doesn't get unique features, which is why you always need a professional appraisal before you close a deal, especially an expensive one.
That makes perfect sense. So the trade-off is like precision for speed and just having a number. Okay, so if Zillow's the comprehensive giant, who's the one trying to shake things up, maybe on the fee side?
That'd be Redfin, the tech-forward alternative.
Okay, Redfin.
Redfin's key features: real-time market data, often actually better updated than Zillow's.
Yeah.
And their big selling point, commission rebates, can save sellers real money. They use tech to try and make the transaction itself smoother. But, and it's a big fan, but Redfin has limited geographic coverage. It's strongest in major metro areas mostly. So you might still need a traditional agent for certain things, especially in, less dense regions.
Oh, yeah. Then you've got Realtor.com. If Zillow's about convenience and Redfin's about rebates, Realtor.com seems to be positioned as like the authority, the accurate one.
That's the angle, yeah. It's backed by the National Association of Realtors, and its key differentiator. Listings pulled directly from the MLS. the multiple listing service.
And that direct MLS connection, that's the big deal.
It's crucial, yeah. It means the listing info, like, is the house under contract? What's the actual square footage, the current price? Yeah. It's almost always the most precise, most trustworthy data you'll find online. Zillow and Trulia, they often rely on aggregated data, or maybe direct feeds from agents that can sometimes have a slight delay.
Okay.
Now, the downside, some users find Realtor.com's interface, well, maybe a bit less flashy than the others.
Bit clunky, maybe.
Could say that. Fewer of the fun extras beyond just the core listings and agent connections. But if you prize accuracy above everything else, that's your official source.
Right. Got it. Okay, shifting gears a bit, if maybe you care more about the location than the house itself, you should probably look at Trulia. They seem to have cornered that market.
Exactly. While Trulia definitely has property listings, its real power is that focus on comprehensive neighborhood insights. It layers in really crucial data like local school ratings, crime heat maps, specific community amenities.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Because, yeah, most people are buying the neighborhood first, then the house, right? Trulia gets that.
Precisely. It's probably the best tool if you're moving to a completely new city, or if the local environment is your absolute top priority. You get this full, contextual picture of the community before you even set foot there.
That's super useful.
And we shouldn't forget the newcomers. There are always new apps popping up, like Porchlight, for example.
Porchlight, haven't used that one much.
Yeah, it focuses on trying to make the listing search itself more streamlined, less scrolling fatigue, you know? And it uses machine learning to give you these highly personalized recommendations based on what you've looked at before.
Trying to be the Netflix of real estate search.
Kinda, yeah. Trying to anticipate what you want before you even type it in.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got these, 5 main players. How do we use them strategically? Sounds like you shouldn't just pick one and stick with it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Relying on just one is a mistake. Use Zillow and maybe Redfin for their advanced filters and just the sheer volume of listings they have. Get a broad overview, but then consistently cross-reference what you find interesting with Realtor.com. Check the accuracy, confirm the status. Is it really still available? Is the price right?
Right. Verify before you get your hopes up.
Exactly. And the final tactic here, it's simple but really effective. Set granular alerts across multiple platforms.
Don't just do houses in my zip code.
Please don't. Set alerts based on price changes, specific home types you like, or new listings that match really detailed criteria. You don't want to miss out because your alert was too broad.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that kind of covers the digital shortcut side of things. We've established the Zestimate is convenient, but not gospel.
Definitely not gospel.
And that brings us nicely to maybe the most tempting property type out there, the one the apps might struggle with the most, the fixer-upper.
Yeah, the transition's key here, because the fixer-upper is often that listing sitting just below market price, precisely because the algorithms can't easily quantify the repair costs.
Right.
And a fixer-upper, just to be clear, based on our sources, it's way more than a house needing, a coat of paint or new countertops.
It's not just cosmetic.
Not at all. It's typically a house at a significantly lower purchase price because it needs extensive repairs. We're talking potential structural modifications, fixing essential systems like HVAC or plumbing, major upgrades. You're buying a project, not just a property.
Okay, so why? Why do people knowingly sign up for that level of commitment and risk? The rewards must be pretty big if you pull it off.
They can be substantial, yeah, if executed correctly. The most obvious benefit, financial advantage. That lower initial price tag just makes home ownership more accessible, especially in really hot markets.
Get your foot in the door.
Exactly, and that lower entry cost. That's the foundation for potentially high ROI, return on investment. Strategic renovations, budgeted right, can significantly boost the market value. You could end up with a sizable profit margin when you resell, easily covering the renovation costs.
Plus, you get total creative freedom, right? Unlike moving into some builder-grade spec home. Totally. A fixer-upper gives you this unique chance to tailor every single square foot to exactly what you need, your aesthetic.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, make it truly yours.
And just practically speaking, sometimes the fixer-upper route is literally the only way into a neighborhood you really want. It makes an otherwise unaffordable, desirable location financially reachable if you're willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
The sweat equity.
Okay, so what does this all really mean then? We need the reality check. The drawbacks. Because it sounds like the journey can be pretty brutal.
Oh, it can be.
The biggest threat seems to be the money pit factor, right? Unexpected problems, hidden costs.
Hidden issues are like the defining story of almost every major renovation. It's almost guaranteed.
Like what?
Things like you open a wall and find faulty wiring, or there are lead pipes under the foundation you didn't know about, or significant structural damage hidden away. These things can escalate costs dramatically once you start demolition. That, $5,000 bathroom reno you saw on TikTok, it's probably going to cost $20,000 and take 6 months longer once they actually start tearing things out.
Ouch. Okay. So how do you even plan for that? How do you mitigate that risk?
Experts are really strong on this. Set aside a dedicated contingency fund.
Okay.
This fund, ideally, should be 5 to 10% of your total planned renovation budget. And it's earmarked only for those unforeseen things.
So it's not optional, really. It's like insurance.
It's essential financial insurance, absolutely. And beyond the money, you have to mentally prepare for the other costs. The stress, the uncertainty.
Yeah, the emotional toll.
Huge. Managing contractors, dealing with delays there are always delays, making endless design choices. It adds up to considerable personal stress. And remember, fixer-uppers are long-term commitments. Renovations can genuinely take months, sometimes years. You need serious perseverance, patience, while you're potentially living in, organized chaos.
Okay, so before you even think about buying one, let alone pick up a sledgehammer,
Well,
what about the legal stuff, the planning? Those seem critical.
non-negotiable. These steps protect your investment. First, investigate local zoning laws. Any restrictions on the property itself or even the neighborhood, you need to know. Second, understand permit requirements. You absolutely need permits for substantial work, moving walls, changing the roofline, odding rooms.
You should just wing it.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Trying unpermitted work. That leads to massive fines, huge problems when you try to sell later. It can actually cloud your title. Big mess.
Okay, what else?
Check the history. If it's an older property, confirm if it's classified as historic. That comes with a whole set of special rules about what you can and cannot change, especially on the outside.
Right, can't just slap vinyl siding on a Victorian.
Exactly. And finally, a major legal point for older homes, health risks. You need to understand the legal requirements for dealing with things like asbestos or lead paint, remediation, disclosure.
Stuff you really don't want to mess with.
You absolutely don't. These issues have to be handled properly, professionally, before you start major work. It's about safety, and it's about legal compliance. The sources are really clear. Buying a fixer-upper isn't about buying a cheap house. It's about buying an equity-building project.
Okay. Wow, we've covered a lot today. We sort of connected that rapid-fire world of digital searching, you know, using Zillow and Redfin for the wide net, then Realtor.com for the accuracy check, with the slow, deliberate, high-stakes planning you absolutely need for a successful fixer-upper investment.
Yeah, the digital age gives you this instant, almost overwhelming access to the whole housing market database. You can find that potential lower-price deal in moments. But when you actually go for that fixer-upper property, you trade that digital speed for physical time and a whole lot of commitment. So the real question for you listening now is, knowing the depth of that commitment, are you truly prepared for the months, maybe years of perseverance it's going to take to turn that digital listing into your customized high equity reality?